Hello and welcome to another episode of PinkBlue, the show that's queer and the points don't matter. I'd like to think my points matter, though. Do the points matter? Is this a deep thing? Wait, do the points matter? Matter to what? They matter to me. Do they matter to you? I hope they do. Fuck, why don't I script these more? This is the second PinkBlue episode on tea, testosterone, hormone therapy. Whatever word you want to put to it, here it is. This episode, we're going to be talking about the things that tea has done to improve my life. Now, if you just came from the previous video, I'm not going to make a dick joke. I'm not. I made enough dick jokes the last episode, probably. If you just orgasmed from the last video, then you'll know that last episode, I talked about things that no one tells you about starting tea. And there might be some points that overlap with this video, but I'm just gonna say things and hopefully they're new things. I am less emotional, which is really important to me. I was not in a good place. Before starting tea, I would cry super easily. I would get overwhelmed really easily. My emotional state was very, manic. I didn't like how much I cried. I didn't like how much, I was just sad all the time. And even when I wasn't sad, I was emotional. I could cry at the drop of a hat. If the wrong person insulted me, or they said the wrong thing, or I felt too awkward, or I was overwhelmed with stress or work or whatever, I would just cry. Being on tea has stabilized my emotional state to the point where I feel like a fucking person finally, which is great. I didn't know that it was going to do that. And for all these things, these are, I should say at the beginning, these are just my experiences. It should be obvious because the title of the video or the subject of the video is going to be something that's like, what tea did to improve my life. So it's as in my life, as in not yours. I don't know what's going on in your life, but people are silly. And so I should say it just to cover and make sure, yes, this is me talking about my life, not you, me not talking about you, me talking about me. Yes, my body is the healthiest that it's ever been. I've been able to gain muscle, which is great. I ran varsity cross country for 6 years, and even now I'm in better shape than that. Tea allows you to gain and retain muscle easier, so I'm able to I feel good, I feel healthy, I feel strong for the first time in my life. Doing a lot of push-ups, doing a lot of arm stuff. My shoulders are broader, my chest is filling out. When you first get top surgery, you can seem a little skeletal. And looking at comparison pictures, my chest is filling out great because you need to build the muscle up again. I've had a Faining condition since I was 3 years old that doctors haven't been able to figure out what's wrong with me. I've just been bounced from doctor to doctor, to hospital, and all of them are just like, man, I don't know, you just faint sometimes. Here's a hospital bill, then push me out the door. But something that we didn't know was going to happen is that my fainting condition is so much better now. And I asked my doctor about it, and she actually was like, oh, this is probably the reason. More muscles is better for insulin sensitivity, and you have better blood sugar control. So accidentally, it's just fixing whatever the fuck was wrong with my body. I don't get suicidal anymore. That's a huge bonus. Really psyched about that. Because that was a lot of my thinkings, I thought about it every day. I was just fucking miserable. I've tried to kill myself twice already. So I feel like a third, this is some dark humor. Bear with me, guys. I'm good at a lot of things, but I'm apparently just bad at killing myself, which I am grateful for. Because imagine if I had, and then I could have just transitioned and been happy. That's... Whew. Y'all, let's take a break for a second and talk this out. I am in a very privileged position that I am able to transition physically, and not everyone can, and that fucking sucks. But I love y'all, and don't do it. I'm sure it is very privileged of me to just say, don't kill yourself. It'll be fine. But if I can be honest, I don't know. I don't know if it'll be fine. But the thing is, me speaking from personal experience, I would have regretted it a lot if I had succeeded any of the times that I had. Because you don't know what's around the corner. And, finding peace and love in yourself is something that is really hard to do, but you can do it. And I love you, and I want you to stay safe. Hopefully none of that sounded stupid or bad. I was speaking from the heart, and if I said something bad, I'm sorry. I can only do my best. But just know that you're not alone and there are people you can talk to. If you're trans and are feeling shitty, Trans Lifeline is a hotline that you can call and talk to someone. Which brings me to my next point, depression. My depression is so much better now. I used to get depressed all the time, and now it is more of an occasional thing. And when I am depressed, I don't get suicidal anymore. Usually they came hand in hand. They came hand in hand together. It's beautiful. But now my depression is totally different, which is something that I had to get used to. Before, the kind of depression that I've had my whole life, I knew how it worked, I knew how it functioned, I knew what I had to do in order to get rid of it. Now I am relearning its characteristics and what I can do to put a stop at its tracks. For instance, I don't get suicidal anymore, but now when I get depressed, I experience an extreme lack of appetite. So I just don't eat. I barely ate for like 6 days. I got depressed a couple months ago and I couldn't even force myself to eat. And I was just like, shit, I don't know how this works. I guess I'm just gonna have to experience this until it stops naturally. And I did. And that's, you live and you learn, and that's what Sonic taught us. Live and learn. Tea made me hotter, which I really appreciate. Like, whatever your thoughts on me before transition, whatever the fuck, I don't care. I don't want to hear about that. I don't want to hear about me pre-transition. People think it's a compliment to be like, oh, you were attractive before. I don't care. That makes me sad to hear. Shut up. You don't mean it in a bad way, but I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want a reminder that I'm trans. But for the first time in my life, I actually feel hot, which is great. One of the things that made me depressed before was that I knew that I was an attractive female looking person, and that made me be like, oh, I guess I won't transition then because it's not so bad, at least I'm attractive. And then I tried to kill myself twice. So guess that isn't the best thing. But for the first time in my life, I feel attractive, which is like fantastic. I was that kid in high school that people would ask out on a dare. Like, I was smelly and sweaty. I didn't shower. I didn't cut my hair. I didn't care what I looked like. I didn't care about anything. And now I'm working out. I purposefully choose clothes that I think will feel good on me and look good. And I'm just like very comfortable and confident in my skin for the first time. I like my muscles. I like putting food in my body that will make me feel good. I feel attractive. I'm excited to get dressed. Like, I used to just wear sweatpants and not give a shit, but now I'm excited to like color coordinate my shoes to my shirts and wear things that I couldn't wear before, which like feminine clothing, you know, like whatever society deems feminine, like pink clothes, purple, floral patterns, I could actually wear now and feel comfortable. Before I used to wear them and feel yucky, and now I am confident enough and secure enough in my masculinity that now I can wear whatever the fuck I want. I'm so much less shy now, and that's incredible. People see me in videos and they think, oh, Jesse's like extroverted all the time, but honestly, I'm not. Or rather, I wasn't. But now I am. The prophecy has come true. I'm comfortable in my body, so I'm able to like talk to people and start conversations in ways that I wasn't able to before. I used to suck at flirting. I used to suck at letting people know I was interested in them. And now I'm like confident and I'm fucking owning that. Like God. My dating life has never been this good. I'm not interested in committed romantic relationships, but I am pursuing people. And that's fucking tight. Not having periods is so fucking good. I had endometriosis. Well, I mean, technically I still do. It's a long story. The innie junk does not function anymore, but it's science. Look it up, whatever. Endometriosis made it so that periods were like super, super fucking intense. Like, I was bedridden for weeks at a time, and I couldn't have a hysterectomy because I was too young. So I was just missing tons of school and work, and they had to put me on these pills where basically I would have a period once every 3 months, because at least then it wasn't once a month, and I was miserable and felt terrible. And I wasn't having any babies. Like, fucking, why deal with this shit for no reason? So yeah, not having periods, I'm super psyched about. I'm so fucking happy. I used to have bad eczema and like this rash that would appear on my neck. And I went to so many dermatologists and stuff, and no one really had a solution. They told me to like change my shampoo and conditioner and stuff, but like, they were like, it's gonna be there your whole life. But magically, once I started tea, I haven't gotten any outbreaks. And my doctor thinks that it is stress related. Because I was so stressed out before, because of not transitioning, I would break out in like this awful rashy itch that I had to put like steroid cream on. And it was awful. It would come back every like 3 weeks, and it sucked. I had to be careful what pillows I slept on, because if someone had hair gel in their hair and then laid down on it, it would make me break out. And it was just a whole fucking thing. So another thing that was not expected at all, like magically another fantastic thing, I am much more confident in my acting ability now. Before, I would do a bunch of takes of a line, voice acting wise, you know, like recording for stuff, playing female characters, and I would do a million takes and not be happy with any of them. And eventually I just like threw it out, or I wasn't happy and just like I wasn't happy. Now, auditions and recording for male roles, I knock them out of the park automatically. Like, I'm genuinely happy with my work, which is, wow. I didn't know I was unhappy before, but comparison wise, it's like, it's night and day. I needed to do a new character demo reel, and like, it took me years and years for the female version. Then the male version, I recorded everything in an hour and had it all edited also in an hour. Acting is so fun now. Like, I've always loved performing, but before, I could never really truly connect to some roles. Like live action especially, I was going to do more on-camera TV acting. But the auditions that I was practicing for were for like lawyer or nurse, or like things that I couldn't connect to. Not just because of the profession, but also because of the gender. And I didn't even know it, but that's why I was bored. I was bored by acting. And I've loved theater, and I've loved performing. And, you know, I always auditioned for the male roles when I was a kid. I was Nicely Johnson in our 8th grade production of Guys and Dolls, which is great. I've almost got the facial hair. And now I'm just so excited to do stuff again. And I'm also able to do quote unquote feminine things again. Like, it's fucked up how society is like, these are some dude things, these are some girl things, and they just like don't fucking understand it. But now that I'm in the right body, I feel so much more comfortable putting like into my sentences. The word like makes your sentences seem a little more feminine, so I was embarrassed of it, and I tried to take it out of my vocabulary before I physically transitioned to appear more masculine. And now I'm able to use my hands when I talk, and I'm able to I feel just comfortable existing. I made an Instagram post today about passing, and passing is basically the degree to which a trans person appears cisgender. So if you're passing, no one knows that you're trans. And back before I started T, I had to confine myself to a smaller box in order to be accepted. But now I'm like, fuck it, who cares? I'm gonna wear pink, I'm gonna wear florals like I was talking about before. I'm auditioning for, it's so weird, I'm auditioning for kind of a more flamboyant, freer gay man character. And I'm strangely very comfortable in the role. You would think acting quote unquote feminine would feel icky for me, but in this role where I am a gay man, it is honestly very powerful. And I never thought I'd say that. It's crazy. But when you're in the right body and you're comfortable in that sense, you become confident and comfortable in every other sense. So I can do whatever the hell I want, because at my core, I am confident and secure in myself. Hi there, it's me again. It's Past Jesse, recording a thing for this video because you saw me in the last video. I made these videos around the same time, so I wanted to add the same thing to this one that I had talked about before. Adam's apple. Your Adam's apple can grow because of testosterone therapy, which is a plus. It makes me feel so much more comfortable about my body, and it's super dope. It's probably related to my voice has gotten deeper since T, and it's does the Adam's apple grow a certain size because of how deep it is? Probably. It's science. Look it up. But yeah, that's a cool thing. Just adding that to the list. Back to you. So those are just a few things that T has done to improve my life. It's such a long list, but it's only getting bigger. Don't make a dick joke. Don't make a dick joke. Now let's talk about some disadvantages. There's not a lot, but there are a few. Since being on T, I have lost the ability to cry. I think I talked about it in my previous video, but yeah, if I'm feeling something very powerful emotionally, I can tear up, but I don't really cry anymore. But honestly, that's an advantage. I would much rather not cry than cry super easily like I did before. So a disadvantage that's not really a disadvantage. But it does leave you feeling a little numb because there's no release. So, fair enough. Put it on the disadvantage list, even though it's also an advantage. So, a point for each. I can't hit higher notes, which is, I'm going to singing lessons now in order to improve my range. My vocal coach is training me back into my falsetto, because, it just gets squeaky. The higher I go, it's uncontrollable when you get up here. So, working on it. Now I'm learning my singing range all over again. I used to be an alto, and now I don't know what I am. But that's life, and we'll figure it out together. Because I still have my innie junk, and I haven't had surgery to get rid of it yet, it just keeps getting sick because it's everything's on fire. Nothing works anymore. Why are you growing a beard? Why is there a dick next to me? It's very confused. Your voice is so much lower. Did I do something? So because of that, I have to take, again, what I call my sex pills, which is just an antibiotic that I have to take before I have sex. Otherwise, I just get a UTI, which sucks. I'm speaking as though you have seen the last episode. So if you haven't, go do that. But yeah, it sucks having to think ahead because I don't want to it's weird if I just do it, if I take it, I don't want to ruin the moment. If you're getting hot and in the moment and then you're like, hold on, let me take this pill or my boner won't work is what it seems like it, but that's not, it's a different pill. I would need a different pill. I've been so curious. What happens if I take Viagra? Does my barely 1-inch penis just get rock hard for hours? Will I die? I'm very curious. And finally on the list, I have stopped feeling romantic attraction, which also I'm fine with because I fell in love super easily before because I was insecure. Not that that automatically means you're insecure. That was just my reasoning. Wouldn't that be a wild take? But yeah, I've just kind of lost the ability to want commitment, which is fine. I was, polyamorous before. So now it's just, I have different relationships with different people and none of them are commitment wise, because that makes my brain freak out and makes me anxious. So yeah, I like it. So there you go. There are some advantages and disadvantages and things that have for the most part, my life is, oh God, my life is just so much better. I'm so fucking grateful that these things exist, that I live in a time where I have access and, I'm lucky enough that I have access to these things that make me feel so much better. So a net win for the old Nowack. Pew pew. Am I a cowboy in this? What am I doing? Why do you guys even watch these things? Anyway, I'll see y'all in the next episode of PinkBlue.